All right, I think I need to actually set this up to where it shows the game. Well, it's not a game. I like how it's just Overwatch.exe, even though it's not. All right, that's good. The overlay's gonna look a little weird, I guess, but whatever. It's fine with me. Okay, I have no idea what to watch. I was just gonna watch because I want to play around with this new Spectator client because you can just watch. I mean, you could have watched these games live, which was cool. Because you could even like rewind like while they were going, and also they were ahead of the stream, which was funny. I was told that in these games, the China versus South Korea games, the King's Row one was really good, so we'll watch that one. I didn't watch a lot of these games live because I was doing other stuff, but I think I saw some of this one. I think so. Like, okay, yeah. So I remember right. Like the clips that were going around from this match were like a bubble. Also, hi, Blinkton Poet or Blind Ink Poet. Sorry, I can't read. But yeah, the clips from this map were like a really good Zarya bubble, and I want to see that at least. But I guess is it just going? Yeah, it's just going. I have some of the keybinds set up, like I can slow down and stuff. Like, I think what is my pause button? I forgot what my pause button.
Ready for battle.
Let me what is my pause? Let me switch my pause button real quick. I think it's like Control P by default, but I think I changed it. Oh, I changed it to my mouse button. That's what I did. Okay, cool. So it looks like both teams ran. What did they run? Did they actually run Doomfist Sombra?
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. I think this is what they're actually running. Obviously, defense is running this, but because China's defending, and they're doing a wrecking ball on defense, which is interesting because usually dive-ish tanks, like mobile tanks, like Winston and wrecking ball, aren't the greatest on defense if you don't actually follow up. Obviously, it's a pro game, so they will, but it's interesting that it's not like Rein Zarya, especially on King's Row, because King's Row is an incredible Rein Zarya map, because like Rein's shield basically covers the entire like area of these like choke points. Like even here, well, you wouldn't really be holding here, but even here, his shield covers most of it, and also Zarya, like Grab and Shatter, which are two really incredible ultimates, cover most of the map, so it's just a really good map. Also, there's not a huge amount of verticality to the map. Like, to get up here, yes, there's people that do go up here, but, you know, not a ton of, like, it's hard to get up here, especially if you're attacking and stuff like that, so. But the attacking team are doing... Oh, I guess I should mention too, China's doing Doomfist Sombra, so Doomfist Sombra is really good at the moment because if you flank with those characters and you get a hack off, like if Crystal gets a hack on, say, like if you look at South Korea's roster, if they get a hack on like Jonak, then like Leave can, for the most part, just go in and pretty much instantly kill somebody if they get the time to. Otherwise, if they're kind of like a brawly-ish comp, because if they do come to the point, you know, this whole area is pretty locked down by Doomfist. Like, it's a smaller point, so Doomfist is pretty, like, dangerous, especially if anything gets hacked, they can easily dive it, especially with, like, Winston, or, well, not a Winston, but a Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball could, like, slam down on the thing. Like, they're basically built to pick something and kill it, because they're not really high damage. Like, they're not going to win a poke war, right? Like, Sombra and Doomfist do not just sit there and, like, shoot at things from far away. They both have to engage a bunch. So that's sort of the comp they're running on defense, which is really interesting because most teams play slow here, because like slow comps are Zarya and Reinhardt. So I'm already interested in how that's going to work. But South Korea, like I was saying, they're just doing double sniper Winston. They were doing solo Winston apparently. No, not Winston. Never mind. Fury's Diva, obviously. I assume the Pharah isn't actually. Are they actually doing Pharah? No, as I thought. Yeah, so just double sniper dive, basically, which is normal. Dive with Mercy Zen, which makes sense. Like, Zen makes sense because Jonak's almost a DPS. And Animo for just, like, rezzing any picks from there if they had snipers, because they might have expected China to have snipers even though they don't. So already, like, South Korea's Winston already like jumped up here. Fate already went up here, so it's like they're sort of like slowly moving in. Because the big thing with King's Row is a lot of teams, at least in pro games, don't super fight at the choke, unlike maybe our quick play games. A lot of people end up just jumping in slowly and getting these getting basically territory. And I think of it like that way. Especially like gives you time to see what the enemy team has, and then also lets you see where you can dive. So the first move, so let me do, what is my button for going back? It's this. Okay. So yeah, so they clearly figured out that like, okay, they're doing double sniper. Fleta is on Hanzo and Jonak and Anima are here. So like, and Carpe is obviously down here. He's not like way back, right? Like, because it'd be interesting if Carpe was still playing up here or maybe down here, but he's moving up as with the whole team to put pressure just on the point, since their team is very like I said, their team is really pick oriented. So they're not gonna like stand on the point. Like if it's Ryan Zarya, you're gonna just sit on the point, right? And play it slow. But this team like sits back. Oops, I'm going into the walls. Is sitting back. So you know they gotta kind of wait to find something, and they do because they have the wrecking ball go on to Fleta. I think. Yeah, he swings up and lands here, and so does, and Crystal moves in too as Sombra. And so they try to dive Fleta basically because there wasn't a lot of peeling for, because like South Korea's like they're doing dive, right? So they don't have a lot of peeling. The most peeling they have is like maybe Jonak for like a little bit, like he can maybe peel, but people peeling for Jonak would be like Fury, and that's why Fury stays back. And that's how South Korea usually plays, is like they super peel for Jonak. But they're weak. Like if you find somebody out there like that Hanzo, you know, you maybe be able to kill him, but it didn't work out there. And Doofus is already in, kind of causing safe chaos against the tanks. He's definitely not going in on these people down here because he could get slept and stuff. Okay, so apparently he punched Fleta. Or Carpe, sorry. Oh yeah, so I think Carpe just didn't see him. And he actually landed that punch, yeah. And that's like, basically both of these comps work. Like whoever gets their first pick can probably steamroll it, like or it's not steamroll, it's snowball it to the end. Because you lose Carpe and he dies here. His soul, you can't really see his soul in the Spectator. That would actually be kind of a cool thing if like if they have a Mercy, you could see the soul. But that's pretty unresable probably. Yeah, because Animo doesn't even go for it. It's too risky, and they pressure it because they know that like they can't res it, and they just fall back because that's like the best they can do in this situation. Also, I guess Fake died from a punch. Like, Doomfist is so pick-oriented, sort of like a sniper. I always think of, like, Doomfist as, like, a weird melee sniper because he can just kill somebody instantly, almost like a headshot. So, if he gets a pick, then they can just sort of snowball it. And see, so now, like, look, now that they have the team figured out, they know how to play this, and they switch, like, didn't they switch? Yeah, Fleto got off Hanzo, and they went, like, they got off of Mercy. They went Zen, Lucio. So they're basically just more of, like, a death ballish sort of. Actually, no, they're not. They're just goats. But they're goats with Zen, and they're against a lighter team comp that would just get destroyed by goats. So they just went goats to get this first point, which goats is really good on this map anyway because of the stuff I said before with Ryan Zarya. So they just push to this left room, and then like have Winston like. Oh, I thought he was gonna jump up there. He just jumped down. But see, they can't do anything here because everything. That oh, I need to turn on my falls. Hold on. I don't know if it actually showed up, but thanks Apex Zero for following. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so like if you look at the team comp on South Korea and you imagine like what I just said, which I said like Doomfist is like a pick-oriented hero, right? Like he can kill 250 HP heroes pretty quickly, right? He can mess up tanks, but it takes a while. So look at this comp. Like what does he kill, right? Like what does he actually kill? Like can he actually get to Jonak? No, because he's gonna get like. Not only is he gonna get Matrix, he has tanks surrounding him, also with a Bridget that will like stun you. So and he can't really kill Bridget because like she's gonna get healing, she's gonna get peeling. Like this is why Goats is strong. He can't kill the tanks really. Like he can go in on them, but like look at their damage. They only have a Sombra, and they have a Zen, but like they're just not very like. It's really hard to kill Goats without your own Goats. So and like basically because what Goats does is. Like I think of it like this, like Dive is a comp that is often about like it really is about ability usage for the heroes, but it also is about like just killing something quickly and pouncing on it before it can even really do much. But goats is really like ability based. Like if you do goats versus goats, it becomes about like who used their Bridget bash correctly, who like who did a Reinhardt charge and actually hit somebody, or like who did a bubble that actually got value. Like it's about getting value out of abilities. But if it's not an equal matchup, then goats has the health pool generally with all the tanks and all the healing. That like you just can't kill stuff. So it's very much about like, I don't know, basically just sitting there and waiting until something gets weak on the weaker team. Cause see, they try to go in here, but like he can't see. That's also the power of Wrecking Ball, is you can do that and get like ult charge. But you know, you go in and you hit them, but like look how, I mean, they're all gonna be healed up. Fury is not gonna get on the mech. I'm pretty sure Carpe is fine. Like this team is not even like, they can't go in on any of this, which is just makes it really a hard fight. And they're just taking up more and more. They're adding more pressure, right? Like if they were still back here, it's whatever. But they knew that they could do Lucio and speed in and just get into a really uncomfortable position for China. And this is just why Goats is good, because Goats can just move up. And then obviously Jonak is flanking because that's what Jonak does, and he'll probably hit those shots. Okay, so there we got a nano, and who's the nano on? Oh, it was on Doomfist. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, I saw this from the actual stream. That was a weird nano because it was like right when Leave had backed up too. Like, do I have to have this up to, no. Like, I want to watch Lee's perspective. Cause he was like sort of poking here, waiting for bubbles, and then going in, and he got right clicked there. So like, for the most part, he probably should have died here. And I think he gets nanoed here. I think this nano was a panic nano. I don't think this nano is actually for any like usage, which is, it did get used because he got healed, but it didn't kill anything, and you almost need a nano Doomfist to kill something in this comp. I feel like that was he got the shields and he was actually kind of fine. I don't know. I feel like this nano was like a mistake. I think maybe, I don't know. I feel like actually winning that would have been actually nanoing Doomfist to do something, to actually kill something. But they do, because like, imagine if he stayed back and didn't go in, waited for the bubbles, Crystal went in, EMP'd, and they nano Doomfist. Or even Gushu. Like, they could have nanoed anybody. I mean, this worked out, but I still feel like that was like, it worked out because I think they did the EMP because they screwed up the nano. Like, they're like, crap, like, he has the nano, let's just do EMP. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like it to me. Because that EMP is their only win condition, because EMP just like, it, you know, basically makes Jonak killable, finally. And then because he's actually low enough, like, it's basically like, I think of it almost just like EMP is like burst damage to the shield characters. Like, it's just burst damage to bring Jonak down to like 30 HP. And they clean up this fight, which makes sense because they use that ultimate. But I mean, if you look, Jonak killed 2 people. Like, they had, like, this isn't good because spawns are faster for King's Row. So if they come in fast when they're a fast comp, especially being goats, like, they could come in easily, like, do something here, especially since 2 of them are dead. Though the 2 that are dead are Wrecking Balls, I guess they'll be back in Sombra, so maybe not. They're not fast enough. I guess that's also the goal of dive, is you can get back quickly. They didn't swap though. Like, they didn't change anything. South Korea didn't change anything. They don't need to. Like, that fight, basically getting the, I feel like getting Doomfist, or getting not Doomfist, but getting Nano and EMP out of that was just good for South Korea, because now, like I said, EMP is like the only thing China has against them, so they can pretty much just win this. They should win this. I think they win this. Yeah, because Fate is just causing chaos. Like, he just ulted. Like, I don't even think he was low, right? Like, let's see. But I'm looking at Fate's health. Yeah, he goes in, he gets bubbled. That was kind of not a great bubble, but maybe for yeah. Maybe the bubbles for his sleep, but yeah, he just ulted without even being low, because it's mostly just for pushing them up here so they can't do anything against this grab. Or for this grab, sorry, that was South Korea's, or that was China's grab. And that grab, like, how did that grab? Yeah, see that grab, like, grab against goats, it's like, yeah, you, like, they're so beefy, like, Look how much like yes, they may have killed Animo, right? But look how many resources that took, right? Like it took bubbles, it took like not Doomfist, but Wrecking Ball going in. It took like Late Young actually had to leave for that because he was gonna die against how strong they were. It also took Doomfist ult. Like it takes so much resources from China, and they don't even really die. Like yeah, they lose their Lucio, but they can still work with this. Especially with Bridget. Like, she just is so hard to kill. Yes, and especially since Fate was still alive up there, like, and he... Did he kill somebody up there? Yeah, he killed the Zen. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter. Like, Goats is so beefy that it doesn't matter if you use stuff like that. Plus, I mean, Jonak, I'm sure, did a lot of damage there. I'm actually kind of curious how Jonak played that, dealing with the monkey. Let's watch Jonak, because I'm kind of curious. I don't know which one of these is him. Okay. So going into this fight, he has trance. And yeah, so Fate's up there, and he's just poking up there. And then they got grabbed, and he trances it, which makes sense. And Doomfist ult kills people through trance, so that's why they got Animo. And then yeah, he got stunned, and he just like Jonak just killed. I guess it should be first person. Yeah, like if you just leave Jonak alone, he'll just kill everyone, and that's hard to outplay with Goats. Like that, it's just I feel like Jonak is very lucky that Goats has become a thing, and that Zen is like the strongest Goats healer in terms of just like output. So it just works out really well. That you know he's very good at Zenyatta. Okay, so China switched it up, like as you can see, like they got off Wrecking Ball, they got off Doomfist, and they're just doing essentially a Goats themselves. Well, no, they're doing Sombra still, unless Sombra switches, but I don't think so. Yeah, so they're doing Rein Zarya, so a typical King's Row composition. Really good for Streets phase. Especially since like what are their ultimates at? Like they have Nano, they have Trance, like they could probably, and they're gonna have EMP. They could win a fight really like here. They could easily win a fight early here too. Especially since Fury's not even in mech. I mean he'll be in mech, but like it basically means like if Fury was in mech, I would assume that South Korea would push up more. Like they would probably be out here a little already and having people move the payload before, because they would be better off just moving up. Also, they got off, they went Rein instead of whatever they had. What do they have? I forget, but they have Rein now. So here, it's like, I feel like South Korea knows that they have EMP, so they're probably just, I think that's why they did the armor, so that if they do get EMP'd, like, they'll be able to take that, like, fight a little bit more, because the armor will help them sort of live throughout that EMP damage. I think that was a good rally from Fleta. And then here, yeah, bubbles are used. We'll slow it down. So, yeah, I was gonna say, like, when is he gonna EMP? So what did he? Let's watch Crystal like do this EMP, because I'm kind of curious like how they actually, because like I feel like pro players are interesting to watch when they're going to EMP and stuff like that when the enemy team 100% knows they have it, which is most of the time, but like this is so obvious that they're going to EMP, so it's like how do you play this when like obviously Jonak doesn't have like Transcendence, so he's not going to like pop trance as he sees Crystal come out of stealth, right? But I still think that like it's an interesting struggle maybe to deal with a team that knows exactly what you're about to do. Because see, immediately they start pushing. Like if they this is another thing about like playing aggressive in this game is like South Korea knows the EMP is coming, but they're like, well, let's see if we can kill something now. Because like if you push into them and actually kill something early, like they can't use EMP, or they'll have to use EMP to turn it, right? To turn the fight. And they trance here. I wonder if they trance here just in case that they do lose somebody for that reason. I'm not really sure why they tranced. Because they could have waited for the trance. Because like Carpe's almost got grabbed, but Maybe they thought they could kill somebody because maybe they thought like trans EMP, like just shooting people will kill them. I'm not sure. Because Crystal is like, yeah. I don't know what that was. Like, that's weird to me. That's a weird play of like what? Look at Crystal. Like, nothing's low. The team's moved up. The payload's not moving. They trance, and then he goes for Carpe, which I guess they're probably assuming Carpe might be close to Grav, but I don't know. I don't really get why going for Carpe with armor and like a bubble, and they're trancing. Like, I feel like if you look at the attention, like he could move over to maybe Jonak, but honestly, he probably wouldn't kill Jonak because Jonak carefully went into that room on purpose. I think if anybody pushed him, it's easier to hit them in a hall or in a doorway. But he EMPs, and I would assume he doesn't hit Animo. I don't think. Oh no, he does. He does hit Animo, and he hits. Did he hit Jonak? Okay, yeah, he hit Jonak, but see, they have the armor. So you can't really kill Jonak, because I'm sure he's getting peeled for. But they got Animo, because he was trapped in that room. I think he was trying to stay in there to maybe get sound barrier to help from the EMP, but he got hit anyway. And they push up here. Like, they 100% were going to win that. Like, they don't have to do much to win that. Like, an EMP and get a pick, and then just clean up. This is all safe for them. Pushing up this far is totally fine, and it's really good on King's Row because it's free. Like, there's no point in not doing it. But I think that worked out. The Zen EMP, like trans EMP, that was good. But now they don't have anything for Carpe's Grav, right? Like, they don't have EMP, or not EMP. They don't have Transcendence. They don't even have armor really. Like, they don't have Rally. They have Shatter probably, and they have their own Grav, and they have Nano, but they have nothing for, you know, Fate and Fleta swinging into it in a high charge Carpe and Jonak, you know. So that's a little bit of a feed though by Jonak. He probably should have just went into spawn, but that's whatever, I guess. I think their plan is to go top here, which puts a lot of pressure. I like this move if they do go. Yeah, I think they're going top because if they go top here instead of just coming out here where they were getting pushed, right? Like, they're not walking into this, like, you know... Oh, I can have that on, I forgot. They're not walking into this. Like, this is hard, right? Like, how do you really... Like, because the enemy team can just sort of, like, China can just back up here for a Grav. Like, the Grav's going to be kind of horrible here, right? So if you go top, high ground, as usual, is really good in this game. If you go high ground, not only are you putting pressure here, like, look at China's team... Or not China's team, South Korea's team. Like, they can't do any damage from up here, really. Like, not really. Like, I mean, Jonak can kind of spam, but China's team also can't really either. So it's like pretty safe. Like, there's nothing, you're not gonna die up here. You're not gonna get like your shield broken up here. It's pretty safe to just go up here and add a lot of pressure because now China's thinking like from their angle, right? They're like, oh, they're going top left. Where are they doing? Like, where are they going? We gotta back up. Because, like, they're either going to push us here, which they probably won't, or they're going to go behind us. And we can't have them behind us because our supports are behind us, or the supports back up, right? But now they're kind of weirdly split. Like, this is actually not good, especially if you're running this kind of comp on King's Row. Like, yeah, your healers are long range, but, you know, look at Sky. Like, you know, look at this. Like, he can't, like, I mean, I know we're in first person, but he can't actually, like, heal or do anything here, and neither can leave. Like, this is sort of bad for South Korea, I would say. And they drop in and do a Grav, and it only really hits Gushu, but that's not horrible to get just a pick with Grav. And yeah, this tool is amazing. Because they nano it too. Yeah, that was probably a good nano because he might live. I don't know if he dies. Oh, he does die, okay. But that was worth a shot because they could maybe like collapse on that if he didn't die. But they were so split, like, I don't know, there's not much you can do. Like, if you're so split up like that, that was just a really good, like, positional play. And especially when you're almost mirroring, other than, like, Sombra, I feel like that is how you win some of these fights, is just, like, out-positioning them. Let's see, they're pushing up. Crystal's still behind, I guess, just, like, watching for where they are and what they're playing. And he has EMP, so... And they're rushing back, probably to do something with this EMP. I assume they're gonna grab, and I don't know. Hopefully they don't have to do... Okay, so he missed... Oh, he did... Wait, his shatter actually hit? How did that shatter hit? Oh no. Is it messed up? Let me leave. Let's get back to it. It's beta. Unless the whole thing broke. Maybe it did. This is never how long it takes to load. I'm sad. Okay, fine. Let me... Maybe if I load a different game? Or I could just restart. I think I broke it. Let me just restart it. I think I super broke it because it's even playing the music still. There we go. Yeah, Alt F4 time. It was like still a app. I had to end it in my task manager. That's how like broke it was. It was like I closed it, but it was still running. That's weird. All right, we're going back in. At least you can just skip to that part, so it makes it easy. Unless it's still broken. They honestly usually load faster than this. Okay, we're good. And missed the button. Where were we? The payload's up here. Is this it? No, this is before. Spoilers, apparently. Oh no, Crystal's just dead. Oh, there's a whole fight here. Okay. There's still a fight. Okay, this is the grab. Alright, we'll start from here. Jonak just destroys Leave because he hits those shots. He's... that was a good dodge on the Fire Strike. They don't push that anymore because they don't really need to. The team's backing off. Fury is Sombra checking. I forget to do that as Diva. Just she has unlimited ammo and doesn't have to reload, right? Like, so she could just randomly shoot. So what do they have going into this? They have, so China has Shatter and EMP, and they used both support ultimates last time to try to win that because they were so spread out. And then South Korea has a lot. Like, they have Shatter, they have Rally at some point. They're gonna have Transcendence, and they have or not EMP, but they have Beat Drop too. Yeah, it's funny to watch. There's gonna be some moments I'm gonna show on Jonak that I've seen from this game where Jonak's movement is weird and good, and also Fury just super peels for him. Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to see actually. Let me just. Well, hold on. I don't know if I broke it by being slowed down before I rewound it. Okay. Well, we can speed up this. Because they just come in... I really didn't think that Shatter would hit. Oh, it's because... Fleto was trying to, like, get Leave and then did not realize he was going to Shatter, and so he got hit by it. That's kind of funny. They didn't EMP. Oh no, they did EMP. But he didn't kill anything with it. That's weird. Because he was behind. Oh. Did he only hit... Oh no, he hit Fury as well. Because I think in the stream they're like, oh, that was a huge EMP. And I was thinking like he was really far behind. I don't think that was huge. Because he got Jonak, but look, like they have speed and everything. Like Jonak is just around the corner. He's not gonna die. So that didn't work out for them. And yeah, and like Fleta dies, which makes sense. But then Late Young dies, so yeah, and Leave dies. So I don't know. This isn't looking good for China because Carpe's probably high charge, right? Yeah, he's super high charged. And they just speed out, which makes sense. That was a hard fight to win. That EMP had to be bigger. Like that was a big mistake, I think. Like that he probably, maybe he was stuck or maybe the comms are weird, but I feel like he should have been up here or over here or even just behind here because I know that the payload was there, but that EMP had to be bigger for them to win that because if you don't, if it's not big enough to where the rest of the team, like if it's big enough the rest of the team can't do a lot, but if they can still like speed and stuff, then Zen gets away. That's like your one pick with EMP, and then you lose. Because if you don't kill Jonak, you probably lose. And they're rallying, which makes sense. But he was dead. But that's a good way to get back. And so, what do they even have in this fight? So they went Widow, which makes sense because Widow is like the only way. Because apparently, clearly EMP was not working. It was not actually killing the South Korean supports, right? So Crystal going Widow probably makes sense to try to get a pick, but that's hard against a Rein Zarya like Bridget and even Diva comp. Like you're looking like the things you're realistically going to kill are Fleta if he doesn't have armor and isn't paying attention as Bridget, or Jonak if he is bad at positioning, but Jonak's not bad at positioning. And or like Animo maybe, but that's hard because Lucio's fast and everything, so it's definitely a really hard thing to do. But it's worth a shot. It puts a lot more pressure on them to be better at positioning, and they also have China also has their own rally, but they had trans for that, so that makes sense. But Fury still lost his mech, which isn't good. How did he lose his mech if they must have trans late? Oh yeah, what did he get hit by? He got hit by... Oh, he probably got hit by Widow. Yeah, he must have got hit by Widow and then the trans just didn't make it in time. That's bad to lose the mech there, but... They lost the mech, so I think that's probably why they beat dropped. So then the front line could push harder, yeah, and then work with the grab. Because if you play that slow, like if you don't beat drop or anything and you just leave your diva at a mech, then you might lose that because then you lose your whole tank. You kind of disrupts the entire composition you have, and it's bad. So it was good that they actually beat dropped that and did the grab. Even if it seems like a lot of ultimates, it was worth it. Especially since Jonak just gets trans all the time. I still don't know. Let's watch. I want to see this next fight. How does Crystal play as Widow against this? Because this seems really hard. I think he kills somebody here, but that must have been such a hard shot.
No one can hide from my sight.
Because what do you kill? You can't shoot at anything. You can't shoot any of those shields. You have Jonak there, but he'll obviously hit you if you peek too long. That was just a really good shot. They basically are betting on Crystal just nailing shots. Those 1% shots, not really 1%, but just those really hard shots, and it worked. They shattered and it didn't work. But see, yeah, if you could get Jonak there, they could probably just destroy, they could just win that fight, but he didn't get him. He got Animo and they backed up a bit, but it's a Lucio. It's not a huge pick. It's not as big as Zen, right? Okay, so they're poking here, but they have another fight here. And they have Nano. China has Nano. They have the Shatter. I think this is the Shatter that doesn't work. And then I assume Carpe. It looks like Carpe's high charge. They'll probably get another grab. They'll have another Transcendence, and they'll have a Diva Bomb for stalling if they need to. South Korea will. So let's watch. So who has ult? So Gushu has ult. So. This is hard though because I'm pretty sure South Korea knows he has ult, so and when you play Reinhardt, yeah, he's definitely could have killed Jonak I think, but that's just that's so hard. Like, I don't know. It's I don't know what else you could really play here though. Like, because you can't flank. Like, I think the King's Row is hard to flank at the end too. So I just, yeah, there's not much else you could do. You just hope you get those shots, I guess. This is so hard because like playing Reinhardt in 2018 against a comp like that is so annoying because like they're so like South Korea has a Bridget that can bash you out of your ult. You have a bunch of tanks that you might not even kill if you do ult them. And then you also have like the Zen far back, and if he doesn't get hit, he's going to trance it, or they maybe beat drop, which I think they know they don't have beat drop, but they might think they have trance. So you really want to hit Jonak with it, and I think Jonak, because weirdly, yeah, he's playing pretty close. Like, he doesn't need to play that far back. But as he moves in, like, they all know that he wants to shatter so badly. And so they do the bash shatter thing, which you would think would work, but if you know, the bash only works on one person, so. And they have speed. Like, I wanted to know this when I saw this clip. Like, is he just on speed here? Because I don't know. Yeah, that was a really good speed. Because I don't know if I don't know if Carpe could have made it in front of him in time to bubble that, because that's what happened. If you didn't see it in the clip, I think was getting passed around a bunch. Carpe bubbled that. Like he got bashed, but I think Flooded was trying to, but yeah, Carpe just flew in and ran in and bubbled it, and that ruins everything. Like, because like even if he didn't, like, if you look at this, like the way China's positioned, they're hoping the shatter goes out. Like, this is their last like effort, right? Because if they like they do the thing, they push up, and this is sort of a risky position, pushing into this team like this without doing anything to them. Like, if you remember before, they only ever did this if they ever EMP'd or something, right? Like, they never or got like a pick or something. Pushing into this team just head on, especially when like his shield was basically broken, very risky. Especially, and also when you're running, like, China's running China's running Ana Lucio, and that's just basically in most respect, in fights where there's no ults happening, Zen Lucio is basically just better because Ana can't really out heal Discord, and Jonak hits a lot of shots. So it's like, if you go into that fight without doing any like ultimate or having some type of advantage, just the raw fight, you probably lose because Jonak and Animo like combined versus Sky, who, like, yeah, Ana's not a bad pick, she can deal damage, but not as much as Zen, especially with Discords. So they just lose this if they mess this up, and they mess it up. And then his shield broke. That was really unfortunate. They grab, huge grab. It's massive. There's tons of people in it. They pretty much just lose this. What can you do? Like, especially if you're a Widow here, like, what do you do? Like, if you don't get a pick against this, it's over. They just steamroll through it, yeah. Yeah, where was he at? Where was Late Young at? So yeah, he got trapped. Like, they basically just trapped him back there. Because he got grabbed. Like, he had just gotten grabbed, right? Yeah. I think they knew he didn't have grabs, so they're like, whatever, he's not a threat. That's unfortunate. That was a really good play by Carpe and Animo. That, like, the speed there was really, really good. That was like for that fight, that is what won. Like, that ability usage. That's what I mean by like ability usage mattering. You can, if you outplay them by just like doing something like that, it doesn't matter what ultimates they have, you just win. Let's see. So now, well, China's attacking now, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what they're actually going. Look how.
Ready for battle.
I like how long it took them to like get to. Oh no, I guess that was just the choosing hero thing. Yeah, never mind. So they're doing. That makes sense. If they want to like try to full hold, that would be the comp to full hold on. Like Orisa Junkrat, which is annoying because if you hold up here with like a shield, which we've seen in other like in Overwatch League games, like this is impossible to get through if you have a Junkrat here. And the other thing I heard South Korea likes to do as well with this is Jonak can sit up here or like any of these top windows, and the Junkrat or Fleta basically will put a trap like on near him. So if anything, any like flanker tries to dive him, like if Crystal is Genji, they get trapped and killed. It's like a mind game thing. Like, yeah, go for our like Zen that is just sitting here shooting, but actually there's a trap on him and we're ready to peel. And they're obviously Carpe and Widow, like, you know, huge danger for on any of these sightlines. Widow's good on this map. I think, yeah, China's actually doing Winston, D.Va, Wrecking Ball. I don't know. Sometimes I guess maybe I don't know. It's weird that China doesn't do Zen at all. I don't know why they're doing Ana. Maybe because they're not like nano boost on Genji. But I don't know. Like, this is a risky comp for. I mean, they don't obviously know what South Korea has yet. But I would assume. I mean, if I was China, I feel like I would assume they're going to do Widow, Mercy, and probably Junkrat at least, and obviously Zen. But like for DPS, I feel like why wouldn't they do Widow? I doubt Carpe would be Zarya here, I guess. I don't know. Like already, I don't know if this would work out because like yeah, there's a lot of like dive pressure from D.Va, Winston, and Wrecking Ball, and you might be able to put a lot of pressure on like Jonak. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Because like yeah, if there's 3 tanks on Jonak, that's hard. Because you can't D.Va Matrix a Wrecking Ball like pile driver or whatever it's called. And then Crystal like takes off the low stuff, I guess, and then they get Nano Blade when they need it, or Nano a tank. Because they're figuring everything out now. What they have, I think they obviously see this, and they're probably like, okay, so it's probably a Widow. If there's nobody there, they're probably doing the usual South Korea comp. So they push below, which makes sense. You don't want to go out here. Like if you try to push like up here, there's too much poke that's gonna happen because they're not a pokey comp. Like they're not able to withstand a bunch of damage from a Junkrat. They're more of, they gotta dive something that's actually out of position or something they can actually kill. So they go below, which makes sense. And here, like, I don't know. It's just like hopefully Carpe kills something. Hopefully Crystal doesn't get killed by Carpe. And Crystal's already engaging with a Discord on him, and Jonak killing him. I don't know. This is what I mean. Like, I don't know if, I don't know if that's like the right play because like obviously they're gonna peel for a Carpe because they have a Mercy too. So like, I don't know. I feel like you really have to dive. I'm not 100% sure why Wrecking Ball. They're having Wrecking Ball back here or what? Well, he goes back here. Where did he move up to? Oh, he went down below. Yeah, like this seems like a weird. I mean, I guess he's down below so he can get his swing, maybe, but it's hard to swing into that hole too. I don't know. That's a weird play. Yeah, he got really low. The Genji got really low because that's just really hard to push on, especially when you're Discord. It's nice that he didn't die though. They try again, but there's Junkrat grenades, and he got hit by a mine, I think, right? This is so hard to push into as Genji. Somebody who plays Genji, what do you do? Like, you're probably not going to kill the Zen, and then if you do, he'll get rezzed. Like, this is so hard. Yeah, I honestly, at this point, the real comp you would probably actually do is probably do your own Widow. Maybe? Because you can't go Pharah, because Pharah would be good, but Carpe would probably just kill you. Especially since they have Discords. I don't know. This just seems tough compositional wise. Yeah, they can obviously go to point and get them to sit back, but South Korea is not stupid, so like, they'll let them get a tick maybe, or at least send the D.Va down, because it doesn't matter. Like, you don't lose the point until you lose all ticks. I mean, ticks are important if you need to like tie break and stuff, but it doesn't matter if you can kill something. Yeah, because they can pull and then do like a right click and Junkrat grenades, and then Carpe will hopefully kill something at some point. Because yeah, look, like China got Fury to come down. I think that was maybe their plan is to get Fury to come down, which would make sense. And then they go up and push whatever is left. But they still have Orisa and they still have Junkrat. Like, it's just so hard to push into that. But they did kind of split off Fleta. But Junkrat's hard. Like, Junkrat can just sit there and spam and back up. I wonder if they kill him? Nah, it's so easy to just back up in here. And yeah, I think somebody said like Junkrat won, and I think Crystal was trying to do something about it, but they just couldn't. Yeah, they're backing up. They got more space. Like, they did... okay, I realized Carpe just killed the Lucio, but you know, if anything, they did get more space. Instead of sitting back here, they actually got more control over this space and got to actually move over here safely. Because remember how I said, like, if you go this way, it's a bad way to go, even if you drop down. But now they basically got themselves to a better place by doing some of that kind of, like, dancing on the point. But obviously, Carpe hits that shot. Unfortunately, I don't know how. Let's see, where was he? Yeah, he was just here. He went up. Just wall riding. Got pulled. Obviously was gonna go back and then got shot, which is... That's a good shot, obviously, but that's also like... I mean, that's a whatever. I mean, it's a good shot, but it's also kind of whatever for Carpe, right? Because, like, you pull them closer and you try to get a shot there, but not only are you putting them in one position when you do the Orisa right click, her whatever that thing is called, I forget what it's called. But also, like, you know where they're going to go, right? Which is a lot of information for when it's information that's really valuable in fights like this, because, like, you know they're going to go back this way, so he can be ready for, like, Lucio is going to obviously wall ride probably to go quickly back here. So that was like a predictable shot. It was good, but it was also like set up. Yeah, so this is hard. This is like a predicament because, like, now they have a Lucio that has to cross the side of a Widow and also D.Va and Orisa that could pull him. If, like, they catch a pull, like, this is tough, especially since Skye is still back here. Like, obviously they were playing there to get healing, but, you know, Skye's kind of trapped. So I think they're just sitting over there to get healing, and then they're gonna go back up top, I would assume, or maybe to the point. But there's two tanks on point. You're not gonna kill those, especially with a Widow sitting there and poking. I like how he's jumping. Oh, so they went Nano Blade. Well, he doesn't have Blade, so they went Nano. I guess just so he could live. That's maybe not the worst decision, but I'd probably do a tank. But I guess he has the dash that can just, like, burst somebody down and get the reset. But he got trapped. That was unfortunate. If he didn't get trapped, he might have been able to kill Carpe and then might have been able to kill Jonak. Like, because he could just kill Carpe, dash through Jonak, kill Jonak, and maybe kill Animo, because Animo probably would have went to go res, but the trap was unfortunate, and I assume he's dead. Or basically dead. I mean, that fight didn't work. Or that push didn't work. Because now the enemy team gets to do, like, a tire, and also I guess Carpe... How did Carpe kill Leave? He jumped up there. Oh, and Leave went to go try to go, like, kill Jonak from behind, like, basically pincer them. And Carpe, because he dropped down, Carpe moved out about here and then just killed the team below. Yeah, because they don't need more pressure anymore on Carpe, so he can do whatever he wants. That sucks though, because you use Nano and you get absolutely nothing out of it. Like, you don't even get a Nano Blade and, like, a trance out of it. Not that I mean, he didn't have trance, but maybe they thought he did. But that sucks. You don't get anything out of a Nano. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it does that. Like, if you pause it while you're, like, an Orisa's shooting, it'll just keep the Orisa shooting sound. Now there's Widow ult, which I think a lot of people don't understand how important Widow ult is, because a lot of this game is, like, figuring out where people are, and what if you could just see them all, you know? Like, now, like, any type of, like, flank they ever do, they can't do right now for 15 seconds or whatever, right? So that's pretty strong. It was a good ult. Here's the noise. So they're just gonna sit on it and then pressure them to have somebody go and touch it, which I think Fury's still down here, right? Yeah, but he went back up to try to peel. Because the tanks, everybody's just pushing. Like, everybody wants to kill Jonak and Anima so badly, but again, there's a Junkrat in here. Oh, he didn't even get trapped. That sucks. Did he just climb up that? Because this is when they go to point, and the Crystal waits for them to start pressuring behind, and then he can do another basically pincer attack. And yeah, Fleta called it though. Like, I mean, that's why the trap's there, but obviously they tried to do like a mirror of the same thing they did, but yeah, it's over. If you know where the, like, because if you kill the Genji in this, like, the tanks aren't necessarily gonna kill anything fast enough. They might kill something from like brute force, but again, they still have Orisa behind them too. Like, it's really good positioning by South Korea. You don't really kill anybody in this comp with just a bunch of tanks. That's probably why they did the Genji, but that's just hard. And yeah, Carpe just does whatever because again, if he doesn't have any pressure, he can do whatever he wants. That's why a lot of teams just run another Widow, because then there's some sort of pressure, but Genji's not a bad... I think that's also why they do Hanzo. I'm actually, yeah, kind of surprised they didn't even do a Hanzo. Genji's a weird pick, I feel like. Genji's really bad against Junkrat that is like actually intelligent about like where Genji would be coming from and peeling. I think they're assuming maybe they're pushing up there or making them not push up there. What do they even have? So they're gonna have Blade finally. They're gonna have another Nano. I assume they'll Nano Blade? Nano Blade gives you the damage reduction to live through that. They might even beat drop. Yeah, so Leave is going back up. Same thing basically, except for now they're going together now. They're not going to split. And they're splitting, but they're splitting not with Genji. They're splitting with Winston. Which makes sense, having something beefier to take the... Because like they... Basically, I think what they're doing here is, like, obviously Fleta's going to turn around and try to kill whoever's behind them, but what if it's a tank that doesn't die immediately, you know? Animo Valkyrie. That's a good Valkyrie, because they knew that, like, this is where they're going to have ults. So if they can keep their team alive, like, basically... Because it works like this with China and South Korea, like, if you have a Junkrat, he will likely kill somebody in this area, so if you Valkyrie and you keep him alive long enough before he kills something... That's a good Valkyrie because you've just won that fight probably. Crystal got trapped again? Yeah. Unfortunate again. Now they don't have Blade. They can't Nano Blade here. So they just go back to point. They did Mines though, which is that's a good move. Mines are pretty good here, and it did get Carpe. How did it even get Carpe? That's kind of funny. Did he? Oh, I think... Oh, he grappled into them. But he was running away, so... I mean, what else could he have done? But that's kind of funny. That was a good play, I guess. Like, having Orisa still back here, and then just having Late Young pressure, and then Carpe getting stuck and having to grapple into there. That's hilarious. I mean, it works. The problem is, though, is that, like... I think... This is tough, because if Fury goes on this point, he's going to lose mech and probably not be able to contest. It sucks, though, because if they had... Orisa still alive? Like... Like, Orisa, I mean, I know she's alive, but, like, Orisa this side, not split? They could maybe hold that? I assume Orisa's gonna get destroyed, yeah. Yeah, he did have Diva Bomb, though. Does he die, though? If he dies... Why is he not getting back in the mech? Oh, he was just trying to find a safe place. Yeah, because I think I was gonna say, I think they could hold this, even though they have China has 2 ticks. They could probably hold that if they had tanks living long enough on the point, because they had Junkrat Tire and they had Trans. Junkrat Tire doesn't get anything. Fate dies. Fleta dies to Late Young when he was... Wait, how did he die? That was... He's up there. He got back in the mech and immediately went for Fleta because everybody flew down. That was a good move. Worth trying to kill him. Especially since, remember, Carpe's dead this whole time. So they're already down one. It's 5v6. And Carpe goes Zen, or goes EMP, goes Miss EMP, goes Sombra. Yeah. Oh, and that that nano didn't work out. That's very much an Ana mood. But whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, because they're still winning this. Oh, but Sky died to Fury. Yeah, I think, because Genji didn't die, like, I assume, because he killed 2 people back here, right? Like, because Genji didn't die, he can just sit there and pressure them, especially since now they have a Sombra, not a Widow. Yeah, they just killed them. Like, that's how that was supposed to work this entire time, but it didn't work because they played in such a great place to make that hard. Yeah, that sucks though, because they basically just used trance, bomb, and I guess Winston ult to try to hold that. They used a lot basically for trying to hold that, and it didn't necessarily work out. Actually, let's quickly make sure. There's talk of the PTR being up today, so I gotta make sure it's not going up because I want to play Ashe. There's no update yet. We'll see. Okay. So yeah, they won that. Their time, I guess isn't horrible, but 3 minutes in Streets phase is not a long time, because Streets phase can be forever if you don't actually win a fight early. Because remember on when this was swapped in the last round, China was able to fight right here because they had everybody back, but since South Korea can't actually fight this quickly, they might be able to fight here, but I don't know if they'll be able to have like I don't know if they'll win too, because they don't have any ults. Like, because China also won the fight when they first came here and pushed them all the way back to spawn. So in terms of time, I don't think it'll be as good. Yeah, they went Pharah. I was wondering why. Yeah, if Carpe isn't on Widow, it makes sense because they probably expected Carpe to be Zarya here in the middle. Playing Pharah with a Mercy probably makes sense because they don't have anything against it. Like, what's actually going to kill a Pharah with a Mercy on their team? Maybe Jonak, maybe Fury, but that's about it. The problem is I think they're on the new patch, so that means splash damage from Pharah is really low, which also means Pharah has to get really close to things to kill them. So it's gonna be hard to do a lot as Pharah, especially when I don't think they want to commit that much. Okay, so that, I don't think they actually thought that was going to kill anybody, but what it did is it pressured them into here, because that's a weird position, right? Like, they're moving the payload, and now you're back in here against a Pharah that can just spam at you, right? Like, that's really scary. So they're probably, like, trying to figure out how to play this, and Carpe got kind of split up a little bit, because they Winston ulted that just to stall it even more. Because I think this is a smart play, in a way, because and I'm not sure 100% sure if this is calculated, but they know that they don't have a lot of ults because they just used 1 million ults. So if they just sort of like stall them out, because like they don't have a ton of great ultimates either. Like if they're running Pharah, Mercy, China, they don't have like a lot of killing ultimates because Pharah's ult isn't really great. Like it does kill people sometimes, but they don't even have a grab, right? Like they're doing dive. They're doing dive with a Bridget, so, and they don't even have a Zen. So they're like low damage. China's pretty low damage and not gonna like win a lot of fights, but they're definitely gonna like kind of like, they'll last from like mobility. So it's smart that they're just like kind of like wasting time here, because they're like, well, we're not going to necessarily win as soon as they get ults, and we know they don't have ults, so let's just sort of like waste the time and also like move the payload to where we would rather have it, so we're not fighting down here. But yeah, as soon as they start to get ults, South Korea probably wins. I would assume China, I feel like they should switch, but I don't know if they do, because I don't think Winston D.Va is very good on Streets phase. You should really have a Zarya. And a Rhine, probably. But they're sticking with it. I think they think that, like, oh, they went Doomfist. Okay, if you go Doomfist, then that's something that can kill something, right? That's the difference. Like, if you don't do Doomfist, then you don't have a lot of damage. Speed it up. Yeah, see this type of poking by Crystal is like not, it's kind of nothing for Pharah now. You're not actually going to kill something at that range and not even do a lot of damage. Because if you do a lot of damage, they can dive it, right? Like if they actually get something low, they can super dive that and kill it. But they can't right now. I mean, they can dive it by like the 2 tanks. They don't have speed. That's another key thing too, is China doesn't have Lucio, which is actually really big. If they're running really mobile tanks like that and they don't have Lucio, that's hard. I don't know, like their nanos have not been doing a lot, and they also haven't really got a lot of value out of Ana. Like they haven't done a lot of like amazing sleeps or really big antis, because it's hard to anti this team. But I don't know, the Ana pick's weird to me. Yeah, kind of like China's grab. Like just grab something and make them use ults or abilities on it, and that's enough of a win. And they trance. Because they trans, I think, because they did the nano, even though it did look like Leitung still lost the mech. I think they trans to be like, okay, let's actually just win this. Like they did some stuff, and we don't want that to like end up being a weird victory. Let's just win it. Because he gets it anyway. Yeah, obviously Fury ate that because why not? Like clearly he would probably be ulting from there. I assume they're gonna get off Pharah now, or they stay on Pharah. They're staying on Pharah. They got a res off though, but yeah, leave. It's hard to do much here until something gets weak, and Animo got weak there. They have to kind of play slow when they don't have Pharah that damage. So they push back here. Fleta. Where is? Oh, they. So wait, how did Jonak die? Did he die to the feral? Oh yeah, okay. So a little late, but that's a big pick. I mean, killing Jonak is pretty strong. I'll speed it up. They got the res, they lose Ana. Because the team pushes up, when they lose Jonak, they try to just make the most out of it and like try to kill something too, so that way it's a little more even. But they get, unfortunately people get low, Animo dies, yeah. I don't think that's necessarily bad, really, because they have 60 seconds, like, and they get another fight here. Because they have Lucio. They get more fights than China does. Because of Lucio. So what do they have here? So they have Doomfist ult, whatever. They have, okay, so China does have Winston ult, which can stall. They have Diva Bomb, which can also stall. South Korea has Beat Drop. They also will have Bomb, and they might get another trance in this if the fight is long. I assume... Okay, so they engage first. And they go right on where they assume Jonak and Animo will be, which makes sense. That was a good Diva Bomb. I was gonna say, like, I heard the Diva Bomb and I was like, I wonder if he just threw it where they just dove, and he did. That was really good. That's a good use of Diva Bomb. Because it makes it to where they can't really kill him. They have to leave. They can't kill Jonak. And they also beat dropped. Because they just don't want Jonak, like, dead here. Animo kills leave because he got weak because it was because the dive suddenly became bad as soon as they used ults like that, and they have to back off. But now it's weird, right? Because they don't have Doomfist. Pharah like is so weak to push this. It's hard to push this with this much spam, especially since like with this range she can't play super high. So like Fury's gonna sit there and poke you, and so will Fate. This is just really hard. Like they have to kill something here, but it's so hard when like they don't have ultimates to kill anything. They don't have a Doomfist to kill anything. And they lost their Mercy, so they don't have res, like, and Fury's just cleaning up now, pretty much. Like, that's a big rip. Unfortunately. That was a really good Diva Bomb, like, throwing that on where they're diving. A lot of that game seemed, like, weird. China trying to dive Jonak, but it just not working because South Korea just seems to have, like, done a lot of, like, planning ahead of how to just completely peel for supports to the point where, yeah, I don't know, like it's just so hard to get anything without like a lucky pick, kind of like narrowing what is even possible. I am checking the PTR again. There's no update. Maybe they lied to us about the Monday update. Maybe there'll be maybe the thing will be later, the update. I don't know. Should we watch another game? I don't know. What should we watch? Like, wasn't Gibraltar the last game? Yeah,